Hello, I'm Dark Shades, and I wanted to speak a little bit about why we are a rebellious set of people and how that impacts us and our lives and what we do and how it doesn't work in our favour a lot of the times. Um, this applies mostly to people who've had harmful upbringings, um, had abusive childhoods, who were abused by their parents and maybe family members, neglected, abandoned. And what happens is that they realize that the adults who they wanted to trust or thought they could trust have let them down. As a result, they kind of resist authority, they resist rules and regulations, and now they're resisting, they become disobedient in the eyes of the law. Um, it seems to happen quite, it's more so, well, it's more obvious since COVID. You find that we're all instructed to wear masks, we're all instructed to keep 2 meters apart. And on the surface, these seem like very simple instructions, but you'll find people disobey. They're supposed to wear a mask on the bus, and they, for whatever reason, they take it off, or once they sit down, they put it underneath their chin. And we're supposed to sanitize, we're supposed to be in the house by 5 p.m. And I think that these laws go against human nature. I think, well, I shouldn't say go against human nature. You'll find that people who have got nothing to prove, people who are confident, people who are humble, they have no problems with obeying orders or obeying instructions. But you'll have another set of people who find obeying instructions so difficult. It's almost like it's an attack on them, like they're losing control, as though they've become powerless. And that powerlessness reminds them of when they were young, when they were left at the mercy of people who didn't care for them. And we're now in a situation where we are not sure whether the people who are giving us orders care for us, who really care for our well-being. Because we're not being treated with a certain amount of intelligence, we're not being treated with respect by them telling us the truth, or we feel as though they're telling us the truth. We feel as though they don't care about us, really. And because we feel they don't care about us, that is why we're a bit more resilient. That's why we want to rebel against rules and regulations. And it's also got to do with trust. Do you want to obey somebody who you don't trust? And that's got a lot to do with it as well, especially if you've been betrayed in the past. You're going to be more guarded. So it's very, very easy for the government to say, follow orders and do their A, B, C, D, and E. But you're dealing with people with different experiences and different pasts. And people are going to react to orders in a different way. And maybe it could be that Black people might be a little bit more rebellious because of their past and because they've been always told what to do, and regardless of whether they've done it or not, they've come out worse off. So they are more likely to be a bit more skeptical. But the fact of the matter is, you'll find women because they've been taken advantage of, they're a bit more wary about taking instructions. They're more likely to give instructions and give orders as a way of feeling strong, as a way of gaining control. But the fact of the matter is, people shouldn't have to give orders at no time at all, especially in relationships, especially in a collegial environment where you're at work. No one should be giving instructions. It should be requests. You should be asking someone, could you do this for me? Is it okay if you help me with this? Not go and get that, or I want that. And because that's like, even though somebody does it, they'll do it for the wrong reason. They'll be doing it to please you, not because, and that's coming out of humility. Some people who are humble, regardless of how people speak to them, they will follow an order. They will follow an instruction. And if you ask somebody, look, You know, I can't, I'm going to sit here and watch the TV. Go and get me that, or go and get me this. That's when they follow that instruction. That is because they're coming from a place of humility, and it's kind of and the person who's giving the order is coming from a place of arrogance and you know, is and power. They feel as though they have power. So normally it's the people who have power who give orders. And it's funny because sometimes when you watch these police shows and you hear them shouting, "Get everybody, get it!" And you're like, bloody hell. Why? I mean, I understand that you're scared, but if you're that scared, should you be doing that job? Where's your emotional intelligence? And, you know, the slightest little defiance of an order, they react really, really badly. So it is really important for you to follow orders, especially when you're in a situation where you could be disadvantaged, i.e. in a police station. No point being cocky, no point not obeying orders, because they are considered as the people with the power. And if you feel that you can, what do you call the word now? Well, you're challenging their power, they're going to give you what for. I saw a video once and it showed one man, and he was there playing around. Well, I don't know if he was playing around, but he knocked a phone out of a policeman's hand. Next thing you know, there was about 12 police officers, because that you are challenging their authority. And as far as they're concerned, you cannot challenge their authority. So it's stupid of any individual to stand up to power when you don't have any yourself. You need to, it's half about knowing your place, but it's also about being sensible and being practical. Because, you know, we watch intersecting police officers on these programs on TV. It's not worth messing around. It's not worth playing games. Obedience. It's very hard to be obedient. It's very hard to follow orders when you come from a certain mindset. But it is important to follow orders in certain situations. In most situations, there's nothing wrong with it. If you think that by following orders, somebody has power over you, then you've got it wrong. By obeying orders, you have power over them. And if you think of it that way, if you think of it, you being humble, you doing what you need to do, and you know why you're doing it, it will make you feel better. And yes, they might, on a very superficial level, think, oh yeah, I've got that person where I want them. But the person who's actually carrying out the order has the power, because they have a choice of whether they want to do it or not. They choose to do it. They know why they're doing it. And I think that's all I really wanted to do. When you're obeying instructions, it's not about losing control. But I know that's what it feels like. What else is there? And yeah, all I want to do, especially in COVID situation, whether we believe it's real or not, my GP said he had it and he's not going to lie to me. So something is out there, whatever it is. And if you want to protect yourself and you want to protect others, you just have to be sensible. Really be sensible and not take unnecessary risks, not putting yourself in jeopardy or yourself in harm's way. Just try to follow instructions, as difficult as it may be, and try to understand where that resistance is coming from. I know I'm rebellious, really rebellious, and I always used to challenge people. Well, I think I still do to a degree, but I'm learning very hard. I'm learning, if somebody says, do this, Myrna, or can you do this, Myrna? I'm learning to say, okay. And one of them even said to me, bloody hell, you're not challenging us. You're not resisting. So I know I'm growing and I know I'm learning. And it kind of feels good. kind of feels good. I mean, it's different if you're questioning something because you don't understand it. And you might think you might offer a different suggestion. But, when you find yourself resisting every time somebody gives you an instruction, you have to ask yourself, where is that coming from? And that's all for now. Bye-bye.